whenever you're ready.
Okay.
Um, so 1909,
Hmm.
1909.
Right.
Okay. So they're getting better with time, of course.
Right.
Okay. So anything special between that one?
And
Yeah.
okay. Um, well, this one's actually super special.
Okay.
This is serial number 394 out of the 15 million that were made.
Hmm.
Um, this was made in January of 1909. This is one of the oldest Model Ts on public display in the United States.
Wow.
It's top 5 or 10, I believe, something like that.
Okay.
All of the other ones, I think and yeah. This one's 6413. About a 6 month difference between both of these.
Okay. Torpedo runabout.
Torpedo Runabout. So this was actually a specially made. This was a specially made runabout or roadster. They didn't make very many of these. They only made them between 1911 and 1912. There were only about 10,000 of them manufactured.
Hmm.
They were on special order. You had to order them directly from the Ford Motor Company. You couldn't go through like a Ford agent or a Ford dealer.
Okay.
1912 touring, not necessarily a whole lot to talk about with this one, other than in 1912, it was the beginning of the black and brass era, which you'll be able to see a little bit more over here. You
Okay.
can see with all of the options how all of this is just straight brass.
Yes.
You have the brass accents with the black and steel bases with
Okay.
all of the other accents. So this was the beginning and the transition from like the stereotypical classic Model T with the brass radiator going to the regular steel radiators that you'll see later on.
What about cargo? Like in something like this? Is that the trunk in the
Yeah, it was
back?
the trunk, or what they called at the time the turtle deck.
The turtle?
Turtle deck.
Okay.
It's turtle and then DECK.
Okay. All one word or?
All one word.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Never heard that word before.
Yeah. Um,
May
the
I?
yeah, go ahead. The trunks back then, especially in the very beginning when cars were kind of taking its shape, and the best example is actually with our Model R. It just kind of looked like a turtleback. Is really the only reason why it's called
It actually says horseless carriage.
that. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard the stories, but to see it on a license plate is like
And they were
unbelievable.
on legitimate license plates with some states.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So everything started here in Richmond?
No, 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 no.
Okay.
No. The reason why the Model T Museum is here is because this museum is owned and operated by the Model T Ford Club of America. We're
Okay.
the biggest Model T club in the world. We've got about 6,800 members across the country,
Okay.
with about 500 international members included. We have a little over 100 chapters across the United States, with 11 international chapters and 9 specialty chapters, including a snowmobile chapter, and I believe one strictly on TTs as well.
Wow. Okay, so this one's special, of course.
Yep, this one's special. This one's on loan from the Museum of American Speed in Lincoln, Nebraska. This is the 5 millionth Model T. This isn't the 5 millionth Ford car.
Okay.
This is the 5 millionth Model T. There's a lot of debate on that.
Okay.
But this vehicle was titled in 1931, 10 years after it came off the assembly line. This will turn 100 on May 28th this year.
Oh, wow.
It's on loan to us until July of 2022. This vehicle, again, it was titled in 1931, about 10 years after it came off the assembly line. And nobody really knew what happened to it for years. They believed it actually got burned in a warehouse fire during World War II.
Mm-hmm.
And in 1992, they were going through, changed a couple hands a couple times, and then it went to the Museum of American Speed around, I think it was around the time of the Model T Centennial, so 2008.
Okay. So how often does the you guys get together here? How often do you guys like go out and show the cars is what I'm trying to ask.
Um, there's only a couple cars that we take out on a regular basis,
Mm-hmm.
which you'll see those over across the street. We don't take any of the vehicles over here out, um, just because this building is more climate controlled than over across the street. And a lot of these vehicles that are here on display in this building are on loan.
Okay.
So they're not ours, and whatever the owner wants us to do with them is what we do.
So, just guessing here, was this kind of like a limo?
Yeah, yeah.
This
It
was
was
kind of
it
like
was
a.
one of your first examples of a limo. Yeah, this is a 1912 town car. The town cars weren't necessarily popular, but it was the fanciest Model T that you could buy. Um,
So, like you said, the Model T laid a lot of groundwork for the
yep, they
cars.
were more than just daily drivers. They were way more than just daily
That is, I
drivers.
mean, that is beautiful right there.
Yeah, this one's absolutely gorgeous. This was completely restored by a gentleman in Cincinnati. And the guy who owns this vehicle also owns the other 1912 across the street,
Okay.
or over here.
It just looks so clean and just, I mean, so okay. I noticed when you said the are these gas headlights?
Mm-hmm.
So how does that work with gas headlights?
So the gold tank that's over on the left side of the running board,
Mhm.
that's a carbide gas generator.
Okay.
So you put calcium carbide crystals down at the bottom of the tank. The top part of the tank is where you would put the water. When the water hits those crystals, it creates a combustible gas that's flammable. The gas goes through the hose that's on the other side of the tank,
Mhm.
underneath the car, forks off
Mhm.
into both of these
And
headlights.
those are those red hoses that we see
Mm-hmm.
right there.
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
And then that gives you
Mm-hmm.
your headlight.
Yep, it just gives you the headlight. It takes about an hour or so in order for the gas to like actually filter through, and then you would just open up the lens, light a match, light it, and you're good
Close
to
it
go.
back.
It's always
Always.
kerosene.
It was
Yep.
always a
The
cat.
carbide generator was only for the headlight, for the front
Okay.
headlights.
And what is that's the horn?
Yep, that's the horn.
Okay, that's what the horn looks like right there. That is awesome. You can see it running right here. I guess you would hit that little.
Yep, you would just hit the. That way you can talk to the driver as well. It's located right there on the.
Wow, I see it.
Yep, and then it goes up right there,
Right
and
to
then
his ear.
right to his ear.
I said stop here.
Yep.
That is is it okay if I get my bigger camera,
Mm-hmm.
like my Canon camera? Is that
Yeah,
okay?
absolutely.
Okay. Um.
Hi.
Fire truck, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yep, fire truck. This one actually has a really interesting story with it.
Okay.
This is the first 25, and it was in service until actually immediately after World War II in 1945.
Mm.
Jersey. Um, Bought the vehicle and restored it, used it as a parade vehicle. So it's been. Um,
Wow, can you show me, or are you allowed to
I'll
show
be
me
able to show you across the
across the
street.
street?
Yeah.
That is
Yep.
so
Yep. It's just
literally.
right underneath the seat cushion. You just lift it up and it's right
That's
there.
it.
Mm-hmm.
And how much did it take roughly to like fill it? How many gallons did it hold? Not how much did it take to fill it up?
The
Huh?
standard gasoline tank was 10 gallons.
Okay.
Um, at the time, your gas mileage was about 10 miles to the gallon, so you could get about 100 miles to a tank. Um, but with the way fuel is now, you can get so much more gas mileage on it.
Right. Cause
Not too much, but a lot more.
Okay. Let me go get set up. Thank you guys for joining in. We're gonna go across the street, but I don't think we're gonna go live. But thank you. The cars are beautiful, beautifully restored. I enjoyed my time here. This was a great stop, but we're going across. Cheers.